All right, here are the answers for Monday's starters. If you remember last week in the Zoom, we did proportions, and we said that in order to get answers to these proportions, you could do it a couple different ways, but we wanted to practice the cross multiplication way. So I multiply 6 times 6, and that equals 36. And then I multiply 9 times W, and that's 9W. And remember, when we have proportions, those two things have to be equal. So we set up our equation, 9W, or 9 times W is equal to 36. Then to solve that, we split the equation. And then we're going to be trying to get the W so that it's by itself. So we have to do the opposite of multiplying by 9, which is going to be dividing by 9. 9 divided by 9 is just 1 W, and that's our W that we're looking for. And then 36 divided by 9 is 4. So we've got 4 over 6 is equal to 6 over 9. When you cross multiply, 9 times 4 is 36, and 6 times 6 is 36. So we know that that W equals 4 is the correct answer. We're doing 12 times 15, which is 180. And then we're doing 10 times A, which is just 10A. Those two things have to be equal, so we set up our equation. Split the equation. I want to get the A so that it's by itself, so I have to divide both sides by 10 so that the A will be alone. 180 divided by 10 is 18. 10 divided by 10 is just 1A. So that's the A that we're talking about. A is equal to 18. We check it by doing 12 over 10, 18 over 15. When we cross multiply, 12 times 15 is 180. And 10 times 18 is 180. We cross multiply, 6 times 2 is 12. 4 times y is 4y. Those two things have to be equal, so we make an equation. We split it. We're trying to get the y so that it's by itself, so we divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 leaves you with 1y, which we just write as a y, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So we've got, 3 over 6 and 2 over 4. And when we cross multiply, this is equal to 12, and 3 times 4 is 12. So I know that that answer is right. So I didn't circle that one for the 18. All right, we've got 2 times 28 is 56. And 7 times x is 7x. Those two things have to be equal when we cross multiply. So 7 times what is equal to 56? We divide by 7. 56 divided by 7 is 8. 7 divided by 7 is 1x, so we have x is equal to 8. We check it. 2 over 7, 8 over 28. 2 times 28 is 56, and 7 times 8 is 56. So I know that my answer is 8. 6 times 5 is 30. I didn't leave myself enough room. Let me do that again. 6 times 5 is 30. And 12 times y is 12y. So we have 12 times y has to equal 30. To figure that out, we divide by 12. 12 divided by 12 leaves me with just one y, and 30 divided by 12 is going to leave me with 2.5 or 2.5. So I've got 12 over 5 equals 6 over 2 and 5/10, which is 2.5. 12 times 2 and 5/10 is 30. And 6 times 5 is 30. So I know that my y has to equal that 2 and 5/10. All right, this last one is where some of us got lost last week during the Zoom. So we've got 40 times 6 is 240. And then z plus 1 times 15, we just write as 15, and then I'm going to do that z plus 1. So I'm trying to figure out 15 plus some number plus 1, 15 times some number plus 1 is going to equal 240. So I'm splitting that equation. I'm still dividing by that 15. 240 divided by 15 is equal to 16. And then on the other side of the equation, now I have z plus 1. And I'm going to write that down here. So 16 is equal to the z plus 1. Well, I want to know what z equals. So what number plus 1 is equal to z? And if you need to, you can subtract 1 from both sides. But 15 is equal to z. And then if we put that in, so we're saying that z is equal to 15, which means 15 plus 1 is 16. So I would have 40 over 15 plus 1, and that equals 16. That equals 15 over 6. So when I do 40 times 6, that's 240. And when I add my z, 15, plus another one, that's 16, times 15 is also 240. So my z is 15. My z is not 16 because I have to add that 1. So it's got to be 15 plus 1 for me, to get that answer. So z is equal to 15.